New Artist Spotlight Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to an episode of the New Artist Spotlight Podcast with a very special guest today. It's a guest that is making his return for the 132nd time that he's been on this podcast. The man who edits it all, the man who's recently shown us his voice. Welcome to the show, Mr. Andres Guazzelli.
Hello there. How are you doing, Wilko?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Technically, this is just the second one.
Is it really? It feels like even more. It feels like 500 times, you know. See you every day.
It was just the first one when I premiered Flor de Abril. That was like 2 years ago. And then I co-hosted yours.
Yeah, that counts, man. That counts.
Nah, that doesn't count.
No, it counts. It counts. And you were on the...
It was your podcast, not mine.
But no, welcome to the show, mate. And the reason we've got you on today is because you just released another new single. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it? Because we mostly know who you are as well, but maybe if you just want to cover the context of that as well.
Yeah. I just released my very first track with vocals. There's someone there. Hey.
We've got a guest.
How you doing, Origin?
Yeah, man.
Here he is. The man himself is in the house. And Mr. Origin Boss.
What's up?
That's awesome. So, if I recall correctly, on my first podcast, meaning the only one, we talked about, on my bio, straying away from instrumental music into more lyrics-driven. So I was like, I had to take this to the podcast. I need to talk to Wilko. I need to talk to Origin. He's been busting my, for years about this, and here we are. This is my very first track with vocals. At least under my own name, after 11 years of instrumental music. So it was quite exciting and quite unnerving. Yeah.
So you've been doing this for so long, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, hearing the song, I was pleasantly surprised at the quality of the vocal. So, okay. I mean, why has it been such an injustice that you would just be sitting here withholding this talent from the rest of the world while
Yeah, no, I get it. It was never meant to be this way. My first EP in 2013, I started writing it in 2011, Wish You Could Hear, with Colin Tench and the gang. My second release, which was supposed to be my rock opera, it was not meant to be instrumental. It was a rock opera with 28 characters, and I was one of them. But then I got burnt out and then started working on a different album. And then Colin died. So I did something for him, August, in memory of Colin Tench. And then I had all the symptoms of ADHD, and then I had to do something about that. But that album wasn't meant to have lyrics and vocals because it would take away from the meaning of the album. And then I just finished the Colin Tench album, Awakening, with August, April, and December. And I was like, okay, finally I'm going to release my first tracks with vocals, which I've been writing for the past 7 years. And then my Bianca died, and I did that. So I was like, okay, if it's not now, it's not going to be ever. And I was meant to...
The context as well, that was your dog, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bianca was my dog.
Yeah. And
I wrote the Sum of All Colors for her. And this was not even meant to be the track I was releasing, but I was working with Nick, Eleanor Collides. We've been doing porcelain, and we did the choir, and we had to make the choir bigger. And I had to add like 40 tracks of my own to make it like a real choir. And I was like, okay, why all this effort and work for someone else's music when you could be doing this for you, for your own music? You spend so much time and effort and work into someone else's. You should at least do the same with yours. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. So I the very same night I delivered the final master to Nick, I sat down on the piano. I just wrote this track, recorded like a reference vocals, and then took like 3 or 4 days to work on the lyrics, because I am not a natural writer. I'm more of a composer. And, English is not even my native language. So it took me a couple of days. And I always meant it to be really short, like short and sweet, sort of working like a bridge between my instrumental past and what's to come. So I did that, and it was done on June. And then I had, the 6 weeks for Spotify and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, God. And here we are on the podcast with the legends.
Yeah, man. I really like the track. It's class. It's got a fit. When you started talking about the rock opera, then I thought you were going to say that this is one of the tracks from that because it has a very theatrical sound to it. I could imagine it being part of a musical sort of thing.
It's not. It's never meant to be. I mean, most of the rock opera is already written.
Let's touch on that because you said that there's 28 characters, including yourself.
Yeah.
Do you mean you've written a rock opera where you're one of the characters?
Yes.
And 27 other characters. Who are the other 27?
Yeah, you're right. There are 28 singing parts, but the characters are most characters with names. It's more like 10 people.
Okay, I'm with you.
28 singing parts, but only 10 characters.
Is it like about a lonely Argentinian man who just yearned to sing on a record? No. He's just behind his piano. Every time he tried to sing, he thought, no.
Do you remember the overture?
The overture?
My second single. It is the overture of the rock opera. The album is called Vote and the Untold Story. It's kind of historic fiction. It's like the story of a now lost in time tribe of Germanic tribes in German Bavaria. How is it in English? Bavaria.
Yeah, Bavaria. Yeah.
Bavaria. Yeah. During the Charlemagne's conquest of continental Europe.
Right.
Yeah.
Nerd alert.
I'm a sort of a history nerd. Yeah, I take it.
Yeah, no, it's good though, man. I think you're in good company. I think a lot of us musicians are slightly nerdy. One thing that I wanted to chastise you for is that you have made us wait for years to release a track with your vocals on, and you've talked about it so many times. You've gone, oh, wait for the day. And then you release it, you have the audacity to make it only 82 seconds long.
This wasn't the track. I know. I know. That's the
when I heard the song finish, I was like, I thought I had accidentally hit a button on my phone or something. I'm like, it just ended. Like, hold on. I went back and I looked at it. I'm like, what the heck?
That's the feedback I'm getting the most. It is too short. And I agree. But I tried to add a little bit more to the song, and it was already complete. I was like, this was not even the track I was planning on releasing. The next track I am releasing, which will be probably in 2 or 3 months, it is 3.5 minutes long, and it's more like me, with the crazy orchestra and vocals and a little bandoneon. Yeah,
that's exciting, man. I don't think it is too short, really. Like, it just makes you want to listen to it again because it's good. But you could have just put another section which was similar to the first, but this way people repeat the track and then you get double the 0.00004 pence from Spotify.
Hey, that's a whole peso.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, though, that is an art in itself, right? The shorter attention spans of people nowadays listening to music, balancing it where the song isn't so long that they want to just like cut it off halfway through or only listen to like a part in the middle versus trying to get it to just long enough to where when the song ends, they want to start it over again and listen for a second and third time. It's really like it's an art to do that.
Yeah, I think it is. I've been guilty of doing too long of a song in the past. My first EP was 12.5 minutes long. And then I have December, which is 6.5. And I've been progressively, making it shorter and shorter. I started with August, which was like 2:40. And then I did La Balada del Viento del Tiempo, which is 2:11. And now it's just 1:20, I don't know, 1:23, 1:30. My next song is going to be 7 seconds long. It's just me screaming.
I mean, that is the direction the music is heading in.
It is the direction, yeah. Mm-hmm. It is the natural flow of things.
Yeah. So it's good that you'd be a pioneer.
Yeah. I'm a true trailblazer.
And I mean, that's what we do here at No Other Spotlight, right? We aren't just here to learn and to grow. We're also here to lead and to develop, right? So, we set the futures as well as
we're trendsetters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think in 5-10 years, there's not going to be a gang of NASs around here because of what we do and what we build. There's going to be more and more communities that pop up like this because we'll show firsthand the usefulness and the results that you can get when you actually work together as a community versus everybody for themselves, right?
Yeah.
And you being you're just like an instrument within this community, right? And you work on the podcast, you work with other artists in the community, you mix and master, you do so many different things within this community, and we got to talk about it, right? Yeah. So what's that experience like as one of the most active and most involved members and mods of this and this group?
I am not even sure I am one of the most active. I think I may be one of the most visible for this matter. You have people, I mean, Ed is the face of the community. And then you have all these people, Sovereign, Dorian Whisper, Darren from Coastal Town working on the app, and the Dam Kirai and Joe Aranya, all these people. Charles works so much on the community. It's the invisible side of things versus the visible side of things. Because I happen to be, working on the podcast and the Top 20 show, and mixing and mastering. But I think it's a matter of I was talking to Charles about this the other day. It's a matter of, I mean, I am Italian, and we are really into this work culture. And I am in Argentina, and Spotify literally pays my bills because of the currency exchange. So I take it as a job. If not, I would feel like I'm a sort of an imposter, taking stuff and not giving back. So I try to give back as much as I can because I take it like a job. I enjoy it. I love everyone on NAS. That's a great part. The people is awesome.
So when you're talking about giving it back, I've noticed you quite often giving a lot back to myself on Discord. Some real sort of bullying comments going on there a lot of the time.
I should post gifts.
In front of new members, calling my name out during the top 20. What have you got to say for yourself on that?
I think it's entirely your fault. I did not create the GIFs. GIFs? GIFs? No, GIFs. I think it's
I'll say GIFs. Yeah, GIF where I am, yeah.
GIF. I mean, I didn't post them. That's on you. I just used them. It's free publicity.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll give it back as well. And Mr. OG seems to dish out quite a lot as well.
Luckily, I seem to have lost connection there for a minute. But when I did come back, I did hear you respectfully regard me as OG, which you have to do. So carry on.
The big OG.
You're a great man. There is a.
I'm like the OG RG from AG.
Okay. What was it? I don't think we ever used it. The OG RG AG. The OG AG Andres Guazzelli from RG Argentina. Yeah. OG RG AG.
What's the AG?
Andres Guazzelli.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm with you. That guy. Yep. Yeah. So I try and put him out of my mind, as much as possible.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I was going to ask Andres, have you had singing training? Did you do any classical training or anything? Because you've got a very well-controlled voice.
It's a long story. I did have vocal training when I was younger. And then I had an accident when I was 17. It's a stupid little thing. I cut my soft palate with what's it called? On a fish. The spines? Is it a spine?
Yeah.
The back of the fish.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I cut open my soft palate, and then it got infected. And then I kind of lost the control of the muscle. So I spent 2 weeks without talking. My parents were quite happy about that. But then I spent 6 or 7 years without singing. And then when I finally got some control back on the body, the voice have changed. So everything felt different. So yeah, it was like a learning curve again, but the time was gone. So yeah, I'm trying to make up for the lost time. We lost Wilko.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really need him. I think we were doing a pretty good job ourselves here.
You're the man.
Like, come on, man, you make this all possible.
I just put together what you do. Welcome. Evening.
Welcome back. Glad
I'm still here. I was just doing some off-camera stuff, secret missions.
Mm.
Yeah, we don't want to know what you do off camera, Wilko.
Secret business.
I'm going to put one of your videos in the little box while you were gone.
Yeah, man, do that. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, probably the one on the escalator doing this.
That's good, man. When are you going to get your own gift? It's good fun. Both of you should get them.
I don't know how to do it.
You just just get a slice of video and then upload it to tenor.com or giphy.com, whichever your thing uses, or both. Because some of them...
the thing is, we don't have goofy videos of ourselves just running around doing weird dances.
That's not true, Arjun. I've seen your goofy videos. I've seen them.
I think you pointed out very much that my videos aren't goofy. They're just kind of me just sitting there, nodding my head, very kind of monolithically.
That does suit your style, though. So you should at least get a GIF of that, and then every time Andres calls you out on Discord, you can just have that you going
like that.
Yeah, it's really about making your brand really represent you, right? And on that topic, I like to do my research before we go into these podcasts. And I haven't been on social media a lot lately, but I went to Andres's Instagram. And I was looking for posts on the new release and all the music that was out, and I was taken aback when I saw the last uploads on Instagram, and I was trying to figure out kind of what's the marketing and promotion approach these days if the socials aren't getting the love.
Yeah. I was talking with my family about this literally on Friday. First of all, I do have ADHD, meaning it is tedious for me to do social media. I am active on social media. I'm just not posting myself. I just recently, like 2 months ago, I just surpassed my first 1 million streams on Spotify, and it was tedious to post about that. And then regarding this release and stuff, I think I posted two pictures in the past year. I have 2,000 followers. Let's say 1,500 are my personal friends and family, and then the other 700 are just fans. They're not really fans. They're my people from NAS, and I already have a way to contact them outside of social media. My friends and my family are not my fans. They don't really consume my music. They just care about me, but they're not going to play my music, and they're not going to buy it. And people from NAS, I'm going to reach them on the NAS server. So it's like I don't really have much fans outside of the people I can easily reach outside of perhaps Bandcamp, but Bandcamp already has its own message system. So when I released this track, and I sent tons of newsletters, tons of stuff. I just didn't post it on social media. I know I should, and this is the thing. My work takes so much time, and I released on a Friday, and then on the Friday I need to do the top 20 show, and then it is when the podcast hits, so I need to have everything rendered before, and then Saturdays is when I send out the top 20 show to the radio stations. So it's like, and then I don't work on Sundays. That's the only day I have to myself, and So yeah, I'm supposed to. I will start posting on social media on Monday. Like
That's a
I'm
lot of
going to
excuses
start my
then.
diet.
Yeah,
It is
a lot of
excuse.
excuses.
Managed to
I
get a
know
lot.
they are,
Does when we
but I accept them.
You own
You
it.
know?
well, that's one thing, but you gotta keep in mind here. The purpose of NAS is to help us grow, right? NAS should not be, and we say this time and time again, our main source of fans, of
Absolutely.
followers, of everything, right? So, what is your personal game plan, thought process, idea, top of the head on how to get your music in front of new people and new listeners? And while we do get new people in and out of NAS every week, new people outside of this community.
I think it's sort of a new game for me, because let's face it, I used to do instrumental music. On top of that, it was progressive instrumental music. So there's not really much market today in this quick consuming, streaming. I mean, placing prog rock on Spotify is almost on playlist. It's almost next to impossible. So I'm still learning how to reach people with this sort of tracks. I do still have a lot of contacts on radio, on air radio in my country. And I do have a lot of contacts here in Argentina, which is a little bit complicated because Argentinians don't take well me other Argentinians singing in English. It's like a cultural thing. It's like, it's Spanish or bust. My next release, it is going to be in Spanish, but I'm still trying to learn the game. I do know I have to send it to playlists just to be ignored, and then keep contacting blogs and stuff, so it won't work. But
you, mate, I think your target audience is a lot older than a lot of the other people. I don't think your music is for the TikTok swipe after 5 seconds generation. I think personally your market would be people of my dad's age, people who grew up with prog rock. The big market for that in England and in Germany and other places around.
And they don't use Spotify.
No, they don't, but they still buy CDs and stuff like that, man. So you could get some money in if you do it right. But I'd look at like
people use YouTube,
all the prog rock bands in England are doing, and then see why they're getting publications and contact them. Because that's
also, sync licensing. You have music that would fit well for playlists.
I am planning on doing that. Everything comes down to Argentina being a difficult country, and before I do the sync licensing, I need to, register both the sound recording and the song for copyright. And those processes take at least 3 months. So I cannot really think about actually trying to make this one sync licensing because it's not really still protected. I think this is the first one I can actually try to get it to sync, but it's still at least 3 months from now. So it is like a long game. I still plan on releasing a lot more music this year and next year, but I think it's an numbers game. One will eventually get to the right people.
Before we go any further, shall we give the song a spin? Because we've talked about it a lot, and I think you should do the honors of introducing it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Give us a little backstory on the song. Let us know how it came to be, why you love it.
I already did, but you were gone. You were not here.
Okay.
Talking to Wilko.
Fine. In that case,
pay attention.
What's the name of the song and who made the song?
This is Embracing Change by Andres Guazzelli, and I hope you like it.
Life's full of twists and turns. Sometimes it can be hard to learn. A chance to set straight the past mistakes and start anew. The world is waiting. Let go of the fear. It's time to take the leap.
future's bright. It's yours to keep. The road may be long and hard, but it's worth the ride. Ignite all the fire within. Embrace the shifting tides and sail the winds of change right towards the unknown. Seeds of growth are sown.
Thank you for letting us play that, mate. And just one comment though, you did actually pronounce your own name wrong when you introduced it. It's Andres.
I know. I think that's the yes, absolutely. When I'm talking in English, I'm constantly translating stuff in real time. And I even translated my name into English and it sounded wrong. And I was like, okay, no one's gonna notice.
I was like, what? But I'm like, maybe I just always think of it wrong. So
No.
Okay.
Andres Guazzelli.
Okay. And then in English, Andrew. Drew.
Uncle Drew. Yeah, Drew.
And then in the Queen's English, the Queen's English, the King's
That
English.
would be Wilko. Wilko, how would you pronounce it?
It's the Andrew Gersten. I get the English name. Origin, I texted Andres earlier on and I suggested that this time we do the Quickfire 10 instead of the Quickfire 5 as a special edition for Andres. What do you think?
I think we do it right now. I mean, I can't think of a more ominous, more deathly filling time than right now with no backup, no introduction. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
You want the first question? Drill 'em.
Question 1. What is your favorite cake?
I'm not really into sweets. I really like ricotta cake. You know, ricotta cheese? It's sweet and cheesy. It's really good.
Question number 2. Define a successful life.
Peace, quiet, and prosperity.
Question 3. What is your favorite musical instrument of all time, as in specifically, not just piano? I want the brand and the model, everything.
I do like old harpsichords, but in terms of a piano, I like the Bechstein D282.
Question number 4. What do you think is the best song that's been on a No Other Spotlight playlist since you've been a member?
Oh, I can't really talk about the best one. I can say about my favorites. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I do love Zeitgeist Absolute Monopoly by Panem. I really like Distance Between Us by Ancient Machine. And I really, really, really like Homemade Paris by Shane Regan and the Blindfold Experience.
Question 5. Who is your favorite of the 6 wives of Henry VIII?
My favorite. I am a little rusty on my English history. I think the first one was Catherine of Aragon, then Anne Boleyn. There are 2 Catherines and 2 Annes and 1 Jane. I'm going to say the last one, the only one that survived Henry.
All right, question number 6. What is your idea of a dream vacation?
Oh, I like that. I want to say something that mixes a little culture and a little relax. I want to say, like, going to, I don't know, Firenze in Italy, going to the art museums and stuff, and then just going to the beach like 80 kilometers to the west.
Question 7. If you could be friends with a TV character, who would you pick?
Oh, man. TV character. I think I would get along with House, Dr. House.
Ooh, I like that. Question 8. What's your favorite wrestling move?
The Sharpshooter by Bret Hart.
This guy's good.
Yeah.
Question 9. What is your favorite type of triangle?
The one with the two sides, and then one side it's isosceles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classic.
Question 10. What piece of studio gear have you had the longest?
This microphone, probably. It's been with me for at least 15 years.
I think you did it, man.
You did it, yeah.
Just
That was
about. I
pretty
know
good.
at the time, I think a couple of the questions might have run into sort of 16-second territory.
But you asked me about the wives of Henry VIII. It's not on me.
Rules are rules, mate. Rules are rules. It doesn't matter what the question is.
Listen, he's going to edit it to make him finish in time anyway, so it doesn't even really matter.
Yeah, very likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
The magic of producing.
By the way, I liked when you called Andres an instrument earlier on. I thought, yeah, he definitely is a tool.
I was fighting myself not to say that in the first place.
You people.
Any final thoughts, Andres, that you want to leave the whole of the New Artist Spotlight community and the whole of the world with?
Be nice. Keep writing music and keep bringing music to me so I can mix them, because I need to eat. Eating is good. Now, kidding aside, I'm really glad I got this song out. It's been long overdue, and it's quite unnerving. People are expecting stuff, instrumental stuff from me, and I didn't know how they would react to something with vocals they never heard me sing. And the reception has been quite warm, so it's nice. It's like a big push of confidence for what's to come. So it makes me want to release more and more music with lyrics and vocals. So yeah, thank you for being lovely.
And mindful of the time here, but how was your experience mixing your own vocals versus mixing my vocals?
Oh, that's impossible. No, I could not get. I was talking about this with Nick Eleanor Clydes, because I was just working on his, and I was like, I know what I am supposed to do, but I can't get myself into that mindset of, this is not you. Imagine this is someone else. And it was maddening, because I was like, is this too loud? Is this too bright? And I was like doing like half a dB moves like this for weeks. I was like, too much, too little. Now, it was maddening. I think it will get easier the more I do it. But yeah, that was a good question. It was driving me insane. How do you do it?
How do I do it? Poorly. That's why I pay somebody else.
Okay. Wilko, how do you do it?
Probably badly as well. But I just...
That's why he pays you.
Yeah, I don't know. Once you've got out of a certain... I think the starting bit is hard, but then once you sort of change it a little bit so it doesn't actually sound like you anymore, like, you've got a bit of reverb on it or a bit of whatever. I don't know, man. To be fair, I'm quite particular about my vocals. I know how I want it to sound. It's more frustrating for me when I can't do like, I've got a sort of metal track that I've just been working on. I wanted to do like a metal growl. I tried it, I just couldn't do it. Like I just can't do it. So I had to kind of change the track, and that annoyed me a little bit. But
you heard it first, folks. Wilko puts reverb on his mixes before he actually tunes his vocals.
No, it's not true.
Key of W.
I don't do that. Don't worry.
Before leaving, you need to sing some Gary Hoppin to me.
No, Gary Hoppin's retired, mate, at my album launch.
But he's like the greatest goalkeeper in the land.
I know, man. Every goalkeeper needs to retire one day. Thank you, everybody.
He did have a good run.
He did have a good run, man. Yeah, but he's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you, everybody, for listening. And it's been great to have you on, man. And we'll see you all soon.
Hopefully. Thanks for having me.
Peace out.
Out.
New Artist Spotlight.